Reimpoo, Reimpoo do live. Oh God.
I think we needed that. We needed that.
Oh Jesus, that's where we're at right now.
Re and poo. Do life. What about you?
Oh God.
Have you met my friend Pooh? She's lovely. No, my friend Pooh lives in London. What
What if
a
that was my actual name?
Pooh.
But then actually other people call Poonam. And sometimes they call them Poonam, but
I
for
don't
sure
think
they
if,
call them
okay,
Poo.
look, if my name was Poonam
You would
and my
not let
friends
anyone call
decided
you
to
Poo.
call me Pooh,
I feel like
I
I need you
mean,
to change your name just so I can do that.
that's like saying, I have a niece or the name like um my niece's name is Asmita, right? Or like
Yeah.
there's other names like I wonder what else with Asim, stuff like
Yeah.
that. You think they call him Ass for short?
I so would.
Hey Ass, I would too, I
Sup
guess.
ass.
Ass.
And with the
Also
English
Pooja. Hi Pam.
Pooja, right? There you
Pooh,
go.
hey
So
Pooh.
hey Pooh. I don't know, Pam, would you
But
call your
there's
friend
Winnie the
Pooh?
Pooh. Is it Winnie the Pooh is a Pooh?
Yeah, he's
He's
allowed though. He's a bear,
he's a
and he's fictional. Can you imagine
Wait,
shouting him
what?
across the room, "My Pooh"?
Winnie the Pooh is fictional?
I hate to break it to you, darling.
He's real.
But
Don't listen to her, people. She doesn't know what she's talking about today. Clearly, Pooh
it
over here.
reminds me
Pooh
of
over here.
the. Do you know? There's actually reminds me of my nephews because they used to do that. Like, hey P, they call me P, which kind of
Pee
sounds
Pooh.
like P, but they'd be like, oh P Pooh, oh great. But they're
Pee
7
Pooh.
and 10. I can allow that.
But I mean, why can't we
So
be
funny.
7 and 10?
Oh,
Just do
we
it. Can we just be
practically are.
kids
Let's not
today?
lie. Let's not pretend that we're adults. So really,
Okay, can we just
why are we
do
even
that
pretending?
today?
I
Because
was
I'm
just
not
thinking
very
about.
good at adulting. Sorry.
No man, I fail at that every day of my life. Um, I was just remembering a couple of things that used to happen for me whenever I would type my name and I would hit the wrong key. And if you look at where the keys are on the keyboard, and there's the I next to the O, and so I would get the two that would come up would be Ponky. It's like, hi, Ponky, thanks, Ponky, or Oinky. I was like, okay, great. And luckily, I always caught it and it deleted, but it happened. And then that became a thing with someone at work. He's like, Ponky, Ponky,
I still
remorseful
prefer
Ponky.
Ponky over Pooh. I'm not gonna lie.
I do, to be fair. Yeah,
You're
definitely.
like, hey Pooh. You're like, yeah, they're calling me. That's right. They're talking. That's me. It's me,
And I'm
Pooh.
like,
I mean,
oh,
what
God.
is in a name, though? What's in a name? Isn't it a movie, a book?
Oh, what
What's in
is
a
it?
name?
What is it? There's actually a lot in a name, though, isn't there? There's a lot in a name because
There
there's
is a
like the
lot in a name.
the numerology. Your
Numerology.
numerology of names is very important, and you calculate the numerology. And actually, I did do mine a while back, and it was quite telling.
I did
I
mine.
found it is interesting, right? I
Yeah.
don't think it's an accident.
Well, we talked about it, right? Like I think in the Hindu culture, especially,
Yeah.
like our parents would get the priests, the pundits to kind of come up with like based on your birth time, right? It's
Mm,
actually based not on the day of your birth, like it's based on like on your Janam Patri, right? Which is
mm,
basically your life chart,
yeah.
and then based on your date, your time of birth,
Mm.
you get like a letter or letters, um, for which it's a good like it's
So
good if they
letters just
name
to
you with
have
that.
in your name anywhere, or like
No,
to
no,
start your
usually
name?
to start your name. So
Oh,
like mine
interesting.
was I had GH, which is an
Okay.
actual alphabet in Hindi. It's Gha, like
Okay.
so that's my house name that my
Okay.
grandma calls me.
Yeah.
My nickname is Goo.
Yeah.
It's not much better than Pooh.
I know, right? We're
It's
going wrong here somewhere.
it's Gagoo, but yeah, I don't even know what that means. But
Okay, yeah, yeah. Gagu. No,
Gagoo.
we have
Yeah,
Gagus
Gagoo.
as well.
Oh, do you really? Yeah,
Yeah,
they just my mom just calls me Goo. She's like, "Love Goo, love
yeah,
you, Goo," and
yeah.
I'm like, Say it out loud. It's weird.
So why do so many Indian people have a name and then a nickname? Is the nickname a meaningful thing then? Because Google
No,
we've used as a nickname for people, like it's not their actual name.
no. They gave me my nickname with the G, which is one of the letters that came up for my spirit, whatever, my religious name or
Yeah.
my birth
Yeah.
chart name. It's not really religious. It's actually based entirely on
It's like
astronomy
astrology.
and
Yeah.
astrology.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with religion at all.
Mm.
And then I got Ri, which is also it's Ri, but it's
Yeah.
actually an alphabet, like a
Okay.
Rishi, right? The same
Uh,
Ri is an alphabet in Hindi. So I got Rishi or the Ri, and so my brother
okay.
named me Rita. I mean,
Yeah, they chose well. I like
yeah,
it.
yeah. I
I
mean,
like
you know,
it.
people still ask me, "What's your Indian name?" Rita.
Yeah.
Well, what's
Oh
your full
God.
name? You probably get that all
Yeah.
the time. Well,
Oh my
Pinky's like a
God.
nickname, right? Like, what's your real
Yeah. What's
name?
it short for? What's the nickname? What's the real name? What's your middle name? I'm like, nothing. That's it. It's Pinky and it's strange. Deal with it.
And
And
mine's
like,
just like, it's Rita. Well, what was your name when you were born? Well,
yeah, it's
I'm pretty
like
sure it was Rita.
Rita.
And
Yeah.
what was your Indian name? Uh,
Rita.
I mean, I didn't know there. I like if you say it in Hindi too, it's still Rita. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
translate to anything,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. Uh,
What's
like
Pam's name?
Pamela.
Is it Pamela? After all
Yeah,
these years, I'm now asking that
it's
question
right
after
there on
16 years or
Instagram.
the I know, but Pam doesn't have any
Indian
thing else.
names.
Yeah. Look at me. Look at we're cussing people. Oh my God, people ask these questions and now I'm doing it. I'm doing it,
Hey
Pam.
Pam, what's your Indian name?
Does she have one?
No, her
Interesting.
name is Pamela.
Interesting. How
Yeah.
did you get that name? I'd be interested to know.
How did you get
Like
with that
like
name,
where's it
Pam?
from? Like,
Who
I'm
named
literally
you?
doing everything that we were just laughing at. Oh, there's people ask these questions and
Oh yeah, she used to get asked for her license.
oh my goodness. I'd be interested to know that because Pamela, obviously, to me, that's her English name.
Yeah, well,
So,
Rita is
and
like,
it
I
was
mean, there's so many Indian people named
actually,
Rita.
yeah, but there's also my best friend, my best friend's husband calls me
Pamjinder, Pamjinderjeet.
Bummadidjeet.
Should we, you know, that's not real because there's too many J's.
Yeah, right. So we used
Pamjinderjeet.
to joke about that actually. It was like, is it Pinkinder or something? Or,
Mine, yeah,
like
mine. It's either Ratinder
Ratinder.
or Rita Deep. I'm not-
Really deep.
oh, her mom used to like a news anchor by that name.
Oh, I like it. Very good. Very good.
Okay. So Pam,
Nice.
yours isn't based on like your astronomy and birth chart at all. Like, did you get
Yeah.
as your
Yeah.
or no? You wouldn't get
I
Pa.
don't
You
know
get
if I even had one of those.
I feel
Because,
like by default every brown person does somewhere.
yeah, especially
It
back then, right? It
exists.
was a
It just
thing.
exists. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
grandma would have got it done or
Yeah. But
someone.
I think I don't even know if this is true, but come question, I don't know. But I think it was like my auntie who liked the name Pinky, and so they chose it. And
If
it's
they
just,
went with what my relatives liked, my
yeah.
uncle, my dad's brother, decided he really liked the name Cookie. So before I was born,
Yeah.
my name was Cookie for like a very short period of time. And I'm not. I don't know what I would have been. Teacher Cookie. No,
Pinky
that's
and Cookie trying to do live.
pink cookies or what? Like pink cookies.
I don't know what I'd call you if your name was Cookie because I just can't. Like, I know my name's so strange, but I don't
Pink
think
and
I could.
Cook.
What would I call you? I'm like, cook. What would
Coo.
you be?
Coo. I would be a coo.
I'm like,
Wouldn't I? I would be a coo.
oh God.
Cooks.
That's so no cookie. Oh, my friend Cookie. Like, I mean, but then I think like I'm trying. I'm like really going there. I'm really going there right now to imagine this. But then
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what people sound like when they say Pinky.
No, but
Like
Pink. Like there's Pinky Patel. She's so famous. Look at her.
she is, but
I
it's
wonder.
still very. It's
Now.
not
I
a
want to be like,
common.
is that your name? She's a
But the thing
Patel. Like
is, I don't know. I don't know if it's an actual name. Maybe she's Pinkinder.
no, she's Gujarati, so it wouldn't be Pinkinder. It would be
What
like
would it be? Oh, I don't know. It might just be something totally different. But
yeah.
because that's the thing, right? The
He's like
nickname doesn't
he's like my
necessarily
name
relate
is
to the name.
Rachel.
Yeah, exactly.
It was too white, so I went with Pinky.
Oh man, it's funny. Like because I'm sure we were having this conversation the other day where I was like, when I hear my name, sometimes I'm like, God, that sounds really weird. Because when I hear it and I remember that pink is a
Oh yeah,
color
'cause
and it's like pink, pinky, like it sounds really weird. And
yeah.
I just imagine like being a little old lady. I'd be like, my name's Pinky. It's like it just doesn't
Auntie
work.
Pinky Auntie? Pinky
I know,
Auntie?
I know, right? It's like what?
Auntie.
It's just weird.
Put it
Was it
together.
panties?
Pinky Auntie is Bunty.
Panties.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, we got that out of our system. Hello and
We-
welcome.
Good job. Well done. What's it called though? Didn't I tell you the word? It's called what's the
Oh
word?
yeah, you did.
What's it?
Oh, I don't know.
It's mostly when you like write it down and you keep saying it.
And you just think it
When
sounds weird. The word sounds
yeah,
weird, or the
where is it? I
don't
forget
know.
what it's called.
It is situational awesome. I don't know.
Is it? Yeah,
Something like that.
situational.
I don't know. I don't know. But we did a bit of that anyway, so that's all good. So today we're going to talk about life now.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah.
And do you feel like doing a little settling and
Oh,
intention,
yeah.
or do you
Please,
just
let's
want
do
to
it.
go for it? Okay,
Oh
all right.
no.
So we're just going to do a quick one.
Need
I think most
to
of us need it
meditate.
really as well. Like, yeah, I'm not going to do a long one. I'm just going to do a little settle into the space and set an intention for the time that we're spending here and to get out of it, whatever we want to get out of it. So, first things first, and obviously, anyone watching at any time at all, you can join in and just use this as an opportunity to relax and center yourself and bring yourself into a good space of energy. So, close your eyes, not if you're driving or walking down the road, and just allow yourself to relax wherever you are. And the first thing you're going to do is just start to take some deep, slow, conscious breaths in through your nose, out through your nose. So just start by taking a couple as however they are, just let them be deep, slowed breaths. And as you're taking a breath, just make sure that you're going with that breath all the way down into the base of your belly. Don't let it stop at your chest or just in your sort of, in your rib cage at the bottom. Make sure you push your belly out. Move the breath all the way down. Really consciously push it out, balloon it, and then slowly back out. And just pay attention to what's going on in you as you're doing this. Maybe your mind is racing and thinking, oh, I haven't got time for this. Maybe your mind is like, oh, I can't handle the silence. I've got to say something. Maybe it's just wandering and thinking about other things. Just pay attention to that and then gently bring it back and focus on your breath. And send all your focus inwards and notice what that feels like, what you're experiencing. As you tune out the noisy outside world, tune out the thoughts in your head, and send all your focus inwards to your presence, to your energy, to your life, to your breath, to just being. And just make sure your body is relaxing with each breath. So let your muscles relax, drop down, just release any tension. And, often we'll know about our shoulders and our back and our tension there. And you just want to give that a little shake and release it. But also pay attention to the little subtle places where we hold tension, like your forehead, your eyebrows, your muscles around your eyes, your jaw. and the back of your neck. Just consciously relax all of those muscles. Let it all drop, and then continue with your deep, slow, conscious breaths. I'd like you to actually just give thanks for that breath right now, because we just take it for granted. We don't realize that this breath is your life, literally. Without it, you're not here. And it just happens all day, every day by itself to keep you alive. And so, right now, as you're really paying attention to that breath, just give thanks for whatever it is that's keeping you breathing, keeping you alive, keeping you present, keeping you here. It's a very, very powerful force. And if your mind is still rising up into your head, notice that energy. Notice the awareness starts to go up into the head again. It starts to think about things again. It'll just bring it down. And as we're about to set our intention, and you, if you're listening to this at any time, can use this exercise to set an intention for any area of your life at all. And what Reed and I will do is set an intention for this session. And as we're doing that, we don't want to set an intention from our head, from our logical mind, from our stressed mind, from our limited mind. We want to set it from the heart. So as you continue to take slow, deep breaths, if you feel like your attention is held anywhere else in your body, whether it's in somewhere in your body, in your stomach or your head or anywhere else, imagine that in that part of your body is a little lift. And you're going to imagine there's a little you in that part of your body getting into the lift. And there's a button in the lift with H for heart. And I want you to really imagine that this is happening, and you press that H button, and then this lift just zooms along, whether it's going down from the head to the heart or up from the belly, wherever it's going from. Just imagine it taking you on a little journey into your heart, and then the lift doors open and you step out. And you're in your heart, and I want you to send all your attention and awareness to that part of your body, to your heart space, to the center of your chest. Breathe deeply into it, and from this space, I'd like you to set your intention. So I'm just going to set mine and then So for me, the intention from my heart from this session is to remember to relax, to remember to not be so hard on myself and life and find life so difficult, to remember to stop beating myself up, to let myself relax, have fun, and know that whatever I'm doing is the best I can possibly do at any given time. I'm doing my best, and that's okay. And so my intention for this session is that at the end of the session, I will remember that truth, that wisdom. I will embody it. I will feel it. I will be reminded of it, and I will know it. And that is what I would like to create today. So, what's your intention?
My intention is, in general, for life is exactly what you said, just not to be so hard on myself, but at the same time, just learn to be more disciplined, really. It's like really starting to show up in my life, and, you know, just continue to do it. And if I fall down, not to stay there and cry, but just to get back up and keep going. Because right now I'm there and I'm crying. Let me tell you, it's not a good place down there. And so for my intention for this session is really to just get out of that place and just get to a more calmer state, just to kind of have that calm energy again, because right now my energy is just like mini panic balls.
So I'm getting some ideas of what we might do. I feel like I want to work with that straight away, because it's something definitely that many people have a challenge with. So let's just come back into the room, and what I'd like you to do, because when you said I need to be more disciplined. The energy of that was still coming from the place that beats you up for not being disciplined. And so, yeah, I need to get out of that, is the negative vision. I've got to get away from this way that I'm functioning. So there's a lot of resistance to the challenges that you have with not being disciplined or doing things that you think you should be doing, or you're beating yourself up for it afterwards and not being able to relax and all that sort of stuff. But there's still an energy of that all of that is wrong and bad somehow, and it needs to be fixed. And unless it's fixed, my life cannot be better, and I cannot create what I want, and I cannot be what I want unless I fix all of that stuff. So immediately that tells me that that is an entirely egoic driven agenda. And so what I think is coming to me is actually, can we learn to accept all of that stuff? And accepting doesn't mean I want it. Accepting doesn't mean I like it. Accepting doesn't mean it's the best thing for me. But accepting is how you release the not even release, but you work with the energy, right? You stop it from having power over you, because at the moment your power is in you stressing about what you've done, how you've not been disciplined, and how you should be disciplined. And this is all holding the power for you at the moment. And it is a beating self up, because it's like, I'm not good enough and I didn't do it right, and I've got to do it better, and I've got to be better, and I've got to stop doing this. So there is still an energy of that. And, regardless of why it's doing that, there's many underlying beliefs, as we know. My sense is at the moment is that, can you actually be okay with all of that? So how do you feel about doing an exercise on acceptance and resistance?
Yeah, let's do it.
Should do it? Okay. So anyone out there who follows this along at any time, if there's something in your life that you're resisting, whether it's something about you that you don't like, or an external situation that you don't like, whatever it is, you can use this exercise to remove its power, because that's what's happening at the moment. What you resist persists and just makes it feel worse and worse and worse. So we want to take the power away from that, so that we release the energy, and we can use that energy to now refocus and create what we love. And all of this tension that's going in there, and it's like, oh, I'm not good enough, whatever, it's okay, there's nothing wrong with it. But we just want to allow for all possibilities, because by resisting any possibility, we give it power. But actually, we want to hold the power in our truth, in our hearts. So we want to reduce the power in those possibilities. So what I want you to do, Ree, is just imagine all the things that you don't want, whether you've done them, are doing them now, worry that you might do them in future. And so just imagine, and whatever comes to you, go with it, that there's this scenario where you are not disciplined and not doing things how you know you should be doing things, or you want to be doing things, and you've made mistakes, you've made errors, you're worried about the future, whatever it is that comes up for you. And I want you to imagine that that's all there happening, and whatever vision comes up, you can talk it through in a moment with us. And actually talk about it now. Like, tell me, like, what comes up for you? What's obvious?
It's obvious that I don't want to think about it.
Right, but you need to think about it. But that's okay. Include that in it. Include that in it. Include
So,
that in it.
yeah.
See yourself resisting the thought. See all of it. So there's you going, no, don't want to think about it. And see little Ree going, don't want to think about it. And so you're just blocking it. But then look a bit deeper. What are you blocking? Scratch below the surface, open the little door, pop the little bubble, and look inside. What's there?
It's unhappiness. Is just non-planned things, like doing things on a whim, but just changing plans and not sticking to like schedules, right? And just breaking the rules, and like kind of breaking my own rules that I set for myself. There's a lot of that. So like making a plan and then changing it entirely. But also just not putting not putting myself first.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and not being aware of the consequences of things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want any of that.
Okay, so see the part of you there as well that's resisting it. So that's the first part of the exercise. So there's this stuff going on about not being aware of consequences, not doing what I know I should be doing, and there's unhappiness in there, there's sadness in there. My sense is that there's also anger in there, and it's almost like you don't want to feel that anger either, and you don't want any of this. And just imagine this version of Ree who's just fucking everything up royally, like head to toe, tip to toe, left to right, everything in every area of life. It's like she's not disciplined, she's not doing it, she's causing chaos, she's causing it for herself, for everyone in the world, and she's just trashing everything, and she's unhappy and she's angry and she's and just imagine the worst case, not to say you want it, but just imagine all of that's happening, and then there's you saying, I don't want that, I can't have that, and resist it. Just feel yourself resisting and just pay attention to what is going on with you as you're resisting. What happens? And you want to share?
It's hard to resist it.
Mm.
Just like this block that I'm just like pushing away, but it's just like pushing me back.
Mm.
I feel like I'm getting squished.
Mm-hmm.
It's so heavy,
Mm.
tired.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel nice.
No. And I get as well when you're resisting, it's like, yeah, all your energy goes into it, and then it makes you angry and frustrated and makes you sad, and then you feel like it's overpowering you, and then you just like give up, and then you feel even worse because it's just there looming over you. All of that from this
Yeah, it's just like this
resistance.
dark cloud.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, it's actually, oh my God, what a piece of shit it is. It's
Mm.
like, it really is though. It's this little shit that's like, I'm like, get away from me. And it's like, ha. And I'm like, get the hell away from me. And it's like, ha. And then I'm like, get away from me. And now it's like, you can't catch me. And like, when you're trying to like catch a fly and you like hit your elbow and then you hit here. And then every time you hit it, it like flies somewhere else. And it's the most freaking annoying thing in the world. That's what
Yeah.
this is. It's just like this dark cloud. And it's just like, now I'm over your head. Now I'm in front of
Mhm.
you. Now I'm behind you. And I'm just there trying to reach up and I'm like doing circles. And next thing you know, I'm like a cartoon entangled in myself. And I'm just like,
Mm.
I'm going to get you one day. But I'm so tired.
Mm.
I'm just going to give
Mm.
up now.
Mm.
I
I
hate
love
it.
that.
Little
I
shit.
love it. I love it. So wonderful. So now what I'd
It's
like you to
not.
do
It's not wonderful.
is just imagine. It's okay. Let that also not be there. It's not wonderful. I hate it. It's horrible. Ugh, don't
I
like
hate it.
it. Feel that. See what it
Little
does
shit.
to you. And yeah. And now
I'm
I'd
so
like you to.
angry.
That's okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. See yourself
Okay.
being angry at it, being angry at this thing, being angry. It's okay. Shout at it, whatever. See yourself doing whatever you do to like get back at this thing and try and make it go away. And see how it plays you and how it keeps dodging you and then laughing at you and coming back. And see this game that plays out as you're trying to fight this thing. And now, take a deep breath. And I want you to just take that visualization. And now imagine that you, in that scenario, accept it, accept it all. And just give yourself a bit of space to really get into what that's like and imagine it, what's happening as you start to slowly accept all of these dark things, whether they're about you, whether they're emotions, whether they're scenarios and experiences in life, fears and worries about the future and everything that could go wrong. Just imagine you accepting it and talk me through what you experienced.
It's kind of like this moment of like, look up at it and I'm like, you little shit. And I can just see it. It's just like it's smirking back at me. But it's like, all right, well, you know what? I'm done. I'm done fighting with you. You're just here to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So just gonna hang out together.
Mm-hmm.
This little shit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe bring an umbrella to kind of be like, all right, there's a dark cloud. You know, I'm ready. It's there.
Mm-hmm.
Be prepared, but it's just there.
Mm-hmm. And does it change as you walk along with your umbrella and it's just by your side? And does it change in any way?
It's not dark anymore. It's like a pretty blue cloud.
Mm.
It's like a pretty blue cloud with little raindrops coming
Mm.
off every now and again. Kind of refreshing, actually.
Mm.
But it's not even there. Like, it's just, yeah, it's not even there. Like, it just kind of comes and goes, but it's just a friendly cloud.
And what do you like in this scenario?
I can touch it. It doesn't go away. It doesn't trick me.
All right.
It's so fluffy, like cotton candy.
Mm.
And I like that there's a clear road ahead, and I'm focused on other stuff. Just my focus is different.
Mm.
Not worrying about this cloud because it's there. We're friends, so.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So,
Oh, cloud. I gotta name it now.
what would you name it?
Poo.
For anyone who didn't watch the start of this show, you need to go back to get the reference. I love it. I love it. I can literally imagine you like now in live, whenever it comes up, you're like, oh, poo's here.
Because
Oh,
it
there's the
was like, it
poo.
was a little shit, right? But now it's just a poo.
Yeah.
It's a little shit that turned into just a poo. It's just, hey, Poopy, how you doing? Have nicknames to it.
Oh, I love
Poo.
it.
Poops.
All
Hey,
right.
Poops. All right.
So let's bring ourselves back into the room.
uh,
I love it. All right, talk
that's
to me.
good.
Where you at? How you feeling? What'd you get
Good.
from that?
Lighter.
Yeah.
Like going in just the darkness, and it's just like it's brighter.
Mm.
And the thing is, like, I can still feel the darkness kind of like here. I'm like, immediately my mind, right? Like, my mind wants to just go, and just drag me into it, right? And it's just like, but no, but that's not real. That's not
Mm.
real. That's what I keep thinking it over and over again. The more it's going to exist, right? The more it's going to just become real. But it's
Mm.
not real. It's fake. Well, it's not fake. It is real, but it's like that's not all there is. It's just a little smidget of poo, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just a little poo. All right, I'll get carried right now. But
Um,
yeah,
but no, I love that. I love that. And it just, that's an exercise anyone can do anywhere, anytime, any place, right? Is anything you're resisting is just go into that. Imagine worst case scenario, imagine resisting it, and then imagine accepting it, imagine and just see how it shifts. And you can do it at any time. Because when it comes back, you can do it again. Just do the exercise again, just do the exercise again, if you need to. And yeah, I think so I think as well, like if I can just riff on what I'm getting as well, is that you know that was taking so much of your energy. I've got to fix these things about me. I've got to fix these problems. I've got to fix the things I'm doing wrong. I've got to remember what I'm saying, all the conditions, right? These are all the conditions that are in the way of my life and my progress and my creation and my happiness and my joy and everything that I want. All these things must be fixed. And that is 100% ego. Whereas the creator mindset says, I'm just going to create what I want. Doesn't worry about any of that stuff. Literally doesn't worry about it. Because anytime you give your energy to the fixing, you're taking your energy away from creating. And you don't need to do the fixing. That's the thing. There's nothing to fix. It's just take the power away from it and shunt the power into where you want it to go, which
Yeah,
isn't
because
what you want
which
to
is
create.
in creating. It's like I want to do this, and I want to, I want to get my work
Mm,
done, and I want to be organized, and I want to do these things. So if I focus
mm.
on doing those things instead of how I'm not doing those things,
Exactly. It
it's just so
sounds so
it's
simple.
common. Yeah, it's like, come on.
It is, but the emotion is intense, right? It drags you in. It's so strong, and
Oh, it's
it
so
makes you
strong.
believe it. It makes you
It really
believe that
does,
it's so
though.
real. Yeah.
I
And
mean,
it's not that it's not real in the sense that like you do feel it, obviously. You are feeling it, but it doesn't mean anything, and it
yeah, but it's
doesn't
like
need your attention in the way that we give it.
it's like any emotion, right? Getting lost in the emotion is what it is, right? It's getting
Yeah.
caught in that emotion entirely. Like I was so drowned. I was literally drowning in it yesterday.
Yeah.
Um,
And what did you do when you're experiencing that?
yesterday I was hungover and I was drowning in it. So it was like I had
Yeah.
the fear, the worst fear, like the worst fear.
Yeah.
So I know that I just at that point just needed to sleep it off. But
Mm.
also there's now it's like okay, like just that it's not even thinking about it clearly. It's like you ever had that moment where you're like, there's so many things that you have to think about, and you're like, oh, I did this, oh, and then you think about bits of it, and it's so like
Mm.
it's actually even more overwhelming because you're like, oh, and like little this happened and this happened, and like oh, I hurt somebody, and like why didn't I make a better choice? What's wrong with me? Like, but you're not thinking the whole. You're not like, okay, so what happened? What was the
Mm.
situation? What
Mm.
happened? Where did
Mm.
it go wrong? Like a literal a conflict deconstruction is what I
Yeah.
would say on it,
Yeah.
right? Which every part of my body's like, no, let's just panic instead and not think about
Yeah.
it properly, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And essentially, what I need to do is just stop and just break down the problem and see, just what
Mm.
happened. I played a
Mm.
role in the problem and what my role was, and that's kind of what I need to worry about, not
Mm.
other stuff, I guess.
How do you feel about trying a self-mastery process? So this is basically, I'll tell you the steps and you can see how you feel. So we define the problem. So we'll pick one particular area, acknowledge that you created it because you play a role, you're creating things that you're experiencing. What's the payoff for the ego? Because we don't create anything without a payoff. Our mind is doing everything for a reason and getting us into entanglements and pathways for a reason. And then we go into genius circle and say, well, what does the genius want? How does the genius view the problem? And then we choose the higher. So that gives us a bit of an exploration into, because some of the things you're experiencing, they're not new, right? They are recurring patterns. So let's dig into it. What is the ego getting out of driving you down these paths of behavior? Because it happens again in the end. So then you want to see it's getting something out of it, right? So
Mm.
if we can pick that out and we can flip the script and say, well, how would my genius respond in this kind of situation? And what does my genius really want? My creator, my soul, my circle, all of that sort of stuff. And then next time, if you feel it coming again, the same problem or same sort of essence, same challenge, then you can know, that's what my ego's doing. That's where it's going to take me. And again, remember what alchemy is. It's not just about stop the habit. It's use the higher against the lower. So even though you're aware of something there of what's going on and how it's dysfunctional, whatever, did you bring the higher in to shift the energy? And that's what this process does, right? All the processes do. It's like, well, we can see what's going on, but actually, if we bring the higher in, how would the higher actually deal with it? So we could do that if you want. Or another process if you think that there's something there, or we can talk about something else. That's up to you.
What would another process involve?
Ah, I don't think we want to do a conflict deconstruction. I wouldn't do a genius alignment because that's gonna take ages and it's quite deep.
Okay.
Conflict with integrity, you would have to talk about, any particular people that you're having challenges with. You don't even talk about that people, but just that particular conflict. To be honest, I'm more drawn towards self mastery, but it's up to you. You don't have to
I've
if you
never
don't
done
want to.
self mastery before, so why
You
not?
haven't done it.
No.
You haven't done that. Well, why don't we give it a go? Want to give it a
Okay. Yeah.
go? Okay. So I know you said there's obviously a number of things going on.
Mm.
But just ask yourself what first comes to you, obviously, as a particular problem.
Mm. it comes down to self-discipline.
Yeah, that's what came up for me as well.
It's
Discipline.
just it's literally self-control and discipline, really.
Yeah.
Because, as much as like, it's September and I think I've been doing really, really good this year, from kind of I guess that's the other problem, is goal setting, right? So now that I'm about to say it, I'm like, as for the goals that I set, I didn't really have an intention of not doing those things, right? Those things kind of came up, like the giving up drinking and the, other things. It came up as a just part of the growth process. It wasn't like I wasn't trying to resist every time I tried to stop, it wouldn't, right? So it was just
Yeah.
a part of it. But now it's like to keep that going, because I understand the effects, what that has, and how that makes me feel, and how I feel the next day, and how it can affect people around me, right? It's like, I've been aware of it. It's just, I guess it's just losing that awareness after, and letting myself just, lose the discipline, like after a couple of drinks or a drink, or,
So should we focus on discipline around drinking
yeah, I think
and make that
so.
very specific? Okay, so the problem is losing discipline around drinking. Perfect, simple, nice. So and then I need you to just acknowledge
No one's ever
that
said that
you.
sentence and said
I
nice.
don't- I
just,
love it.
yeah,
Next
no
five
discipline
bottles
around
of
drinking.
whiskey.
That's great.
Great.
Perfect.
It is perfect. Everything is perfect. There's no negatives here, right? It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I like it. Good. Okay. So then I need you to just acknowledge that this issue of losing your discipline around drinking, I need you to just acknowledge that you created that.
Oh, 100% I created that.
hmm Okay, excellent. So now I want you to just tune in and just imagine a circle here, which is the ego losing discipline around drinking. What's the payoff for the ego? Just talk intuitively. What does the ego get out of you losing the discipline around drinking?
Just blaming the alcohol. I have absolutely no responsibility.
hmm
Like literally letting go of all responsibility. So it's like, if something goes wrong because of that, like time stops in that moment
Mm-hmm.
of being intoxicated, to then realizing that, oh shit, the world didn't actually stop, and this was like, there's an actual stoppage of time.
Mm.
Like, I feel like
Mm.
there would be with any addiction, but there's a and that's like, not necessarily to, it's not like I haven't in the past where, you're upset or you emotionally drink, right? But this wasn't one of those times. This was not meant to be one of those times, and it wasn't an emotional drinking. But the same thing happens, is that everything stops. Like, text messages don't matter, phone calls don't matter, it doesn't matter who's calling you, it doesn't matter who's messaging you, email. Like, I don't check anything. Nothing matters in that time, because I just lose myself in it. Even if I'm not inebriated, it's just like, it's just a little bit to be like, no, yeah, whatever, time, tomorrow. And I've literally lost an entire pocket of like a day. Lost it. And so the ego is like, well, it wasn't me, like, whatever. There's drink, so
And what do you get out of that escaping? Like, my sense is that the payoff for the ego as well is around the escaping life, because life is hard, life is busy, life needs a lot from me, and life is complex. Life needs me to be engaged in it and to take responsibility and do things, and I'm responsible for all these things, and I don't want to be responsible. So,
it almost gets a punishment in a kind of way.
mm,
And you're saying that, and it's just like, the ego's like, well, if I do this and everything sucks, then I know I'm going to feel like shit. Like, I know it,
mm,
right? Like, I'm so aware of, I know it. Like, that's not even something new. That's not like an emotional thing. It's just physically, I know I'm going to feel like shit.
mm,
And then I'm going to straighten up. So do it,
mm.
and then you'll be better.
So it's almost like you need the shit in order to then get yourself out the shit, so that you can feel like, yeah, I got out the shit. Is that what you're saying? Or
Kind of, yeah.
yeah.
Exactly that, actually.
I feel like there's something more around the ego payoff. So why is the ego? Let me just sit with this. So there's this issue around losing the discipline around drinking. Okay, let me tune into this. So Rita's ego. It's a very sort of tantalizing thing, right? It's like just one drink, just one drink. Yay, you deserve it. It's been a hard week. Just have one. It'll be fun. And so what's the achievement of the ego? So when you have one drink and you release a little bit and it turns the dial of the world down a little bit. And then the ego is escaping from a painful, complex, demanding, busy, difficult world. And so then what happens? What do you
It
get from
really is.
that?
It's just not
It's
having
just
the
that.
balls to like
Yeah.
do the shit that I need to do.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
running away from the shit that I need to
Running
actually
away
get
from
to do.
life.
But if I'm running away from it without there being a reason to run away from it, then it's like it's there. It's always like that's all I'm going to think about. But if I'm running away
Mm.
from it, where I don't actually have to think about it because it doesn't actually exist because
Yeah.
I'm intoxicated and
So it totally
alcohol is a drug.
disappears. Yeah,
It's
totally
completely
disappears.
gone. And
Yeah.
so now I'm like having fun and everything's great and things are amazing and my whole plan changed and people were affected by that and none of that
Mm.
even came to light. I mean, that's my part in it, right? Like
Mm.
doesn't matter who else was involved, but
Yeah.
that's bad enough.
Mhm. Okay. So if we establish that your ego's payoff around this is essentially escaping life. It's getting away from the pain of life. It's finding a little sanctity, a little sanctuary, a little bit of peace, a little bit of, peace in inverted commas, and a little bit of fun and lightness, and really just escaping the real world, if you like, and the challenges of it. So the question I would like to ask you is that what you want?
No.
Do you want to live like that? No,
No.
exactly.
No. Not
Uh,
even a question. No.
no. But we have to honor that and say, nope, I
and
do
and
not
and
want
I've
that.
been good for I've been good for 9 months, right? I've been
Mm,
good without like the actual I will not like if I go out, I will not
mm,
touch more than 2 drinks, and just having
mm.
that rule. Like there hasn't been a hard rule,
Yeah.
and I think I need that now. Um, because obviously at some point when it does get too hard,
Mm.
I just let go of all and let it kind of take over, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, what we're going to do, and I'm going to read first from the coaching perspective, is I'm going to step into your genius circle.
Mhm.
And so we know what the ego wants. It wants you to escape life, and the pain and the challenges of life, and it wants to stop time and get away from it. And you know that you don't want that. So, what does the genius circle want? I'm going to step into that around this. So, what does the genius want? Rita's genius. Rita's genius wants to have fun in life, laugh, play, enjoy, create, just for the sake of it. She wants to live in the moment. She wants to enjoy fun in the present moment, not worrying about the future or the past or the bigger world and all this stuff. Like she's very, very lighthearted, very cheerful. And in her genius, what she wants is to live that life. And in between those moments of fun and laughter and joy are also pauses of rest and downtime and contemplation and relaxation and just, basking in the sun and sitting, under a tree and doing all that sort of stuff. And that's what Rita's genius wants. Rita's genius is very nurturing to herself, and very aware of the magic of life. She doesn't want to get rid of it. She wants to experience it. And so I'm kind of going a little bit into the second one here. So I'm going to but no, I'm not actually. I'm just gonna stay with that for a minute. But it's essentially that. So your genius, your creator, your soul actually loves the physical experience, doesn't want to escape it, wants to engage in it, but engages in it with fun and lightness and heart and the awareness of the intricacies of like sitting under a tree and looking at the grass and breathing in the fresh air and having the sunshine. And that is, so there's actually Rita's genius wants to immerse even more deeply in the physical world and the physical life. Um, a lot, actually, essentially, rather than run away from it. So, and Rita's genius knows that, what she wants is some peace as well, but it's true peace, and it's peace that comes from within, and it's peace of being able to sit in the world, and experience more peace, not having to run away from it. Um, so that's what I'm getting. So why don't you tune as well? So do a circle for genius, create a soul, whatever you want to call it. And as we've established what the ego is doing and what you don't want, what does your genius circle want?
My genius circle wants to live life to its most, like every second of every day, just like literally live my best life. And what does that include? That includes creating, it includes teaching my kids, it includes, making plans, it includes completing stuff, and it includes getting things done, but just with fun and with joy, and and not missing out on the work that actually makes me happy because something is stopping me. But like right in my genius, um, there's so many things that I want to and can do to enjoy this life, and like I'm able to fit it in, because in my genius, juggling those things is not an issue, because it just comes naturally. It's part of what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm,
Is there's a structure in the madness,
mm,
in my genius.
mm-hmm,
Um, in my genius, I want to travel the world. In my genius, I want to have my friends close to me, but at the same time, I want to, I want to do things with that freedom of being able to do it without affecting other people.
mm,
In my genius, I want to be the best version of myself.
mm-hmm.
In my genius, I am the best version of myself. And in my genius, that doesn't involve, like, I look at my genius, there's no drugs and alcohol
Mm-hmm.
needed to feel any of those things.
Mm-hmm. Okay, excellent. So, yep, go.
No, I'm just,
Oh.
no.
So stay in your genius circle, and I'm going to step into it as well first, and answer the next one, which is from that space of genius. What does the genius see in this problem, which is losing discipline around drinking? So I'm going to step into your genius, create a soul circle. And there's this issue of losing discipline. And what's obvious to me is that it's entirely the little girl in you, the wounded child at play when you go to drink. And in your genius, you can see that. And actually, you can see that what it is a small, hurting, scared, sad child. And in your genius, you give that part of you so much love in the same way that you would a child now. If there was a child in your life that was small and hurting and scared, you would cheer them up, because that's your natural essence in your genius. You're so cheerful and loving and caring and nurturing and kind and light-hearted and fun, and you bring joy and smiles, and you comfort with that sunshine energy that you bring. And you bring that to a child if they are sad and hurting and so on. And so in your genius, you can see that this is your inner child that's doing that, and that's driving this behavior. And you have a lot of compassion and love for it, and you care for it, and you cheer it up, and you look after it, and you make it feel nurtured and seen. You don't berate it, you don't beat it up, you don't, I mean, imagine that. Imagine seeing a child who's really scared and sad and huddled in a corner and terrified of life and desperate and alone and scared, and then you would come along and give it more shit? No way. Like, you would be the first to run to that child and check that they're okay and care about them and nurture them and say it's okay, I got you, come out, it's okay, give them a hug. So from your genius, what's obvious to me is that the way you see this problem is entirely through love and self-compassion and understanding that the part of you that's acting out and driving this is a little wounded child that needs love and care, not more bashing, not more fear. Because all you do then is give it more things to be scared of, and it's going to go even further in that direction. And so it's exactly actually the exercise we just did earlier, which is learning to accept and love that part. And you see what happened in that. And so really it's embodying that more and more and more. And the more that you love that part of you, the less power it has, because the child will then come out of that state, and then they won't feel terrified anymore, they won't feel scared anymore, and then they won't feel the need to go and do the things that they were trying to do to get away from that pain. And so that's what I get about how your genius sees this problem of discipline around and losing discipline around drinking. So why don't you share with me as well what you're getting from your genius circle?
I was just there. I was just there on that journey with you. It's so good. It's the first thing that came to me too. What's obvious about my genius circle is that there's this broken little child, this little girl that's already fearful, and in order to eliminate that fear and the thought of the little girl, even entirely, is where the drinking comes in. It just kind of just pushes it all down. It's so obvious that but the fear of the child, it doesn't. That's the thing, is that it doesn't go away. And then for my genius, I can see that these little tactics of, drinking or drugs or sleeping, like whatever it is, doesn't have to be completely harmful to my body every time. But any of those escape tactics are all the same reason, which is to escape, to instead of to soothe the little girl, it's to kind of cover her up, make her not exist. But the problem is that as soon as you come out of that intoxication or that sleep, which really is similar thing, you come out of that. I mean, similar in the sense of the state of being, and you come
No,
out
I
of that
think you've
state of
just hit
being,
something. Yeah, you just hit something big there about why you're always napping.
and yeah,
Because life is so, I've got to get away, just sleep. Go unconscious
and
for a bit.
I feel like when you come out of that state of being,
Sorry, just,
yeah, it is though. It really
but
is
it's
though,
big.
right?
You're
And
literally, you want to be unconscious
I
from
do
life. And you're either going to
unconscious.
do that through drinking or sleeping, because they both send you into an
They
unconscious state.
do, right? They send you into an unconscious state. It's the state of
That's why you're
being.
constantly having naps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or I'm drinking to have longer naps. Like,
Yeah.
well, I'm not
Wow.
doing that often, but it does, it
But
feel
that's
it's the
the
same.
payoff, right? Yeah.
That is what it is.
Sorry, carry on. But that
No,
was
no,
just really
fine.
important. I just wanted to.
Yeah.
So, mhm.
It's just that state. It's being in that state where that doesn't exist. Time doesn't really lasp. Lasp. Time doesn't lasp. Time doesn't lapse. Like there's no
Yeah.
there's just a stillness,
Yeah.
right? But then
Mm,
in reality, you know,
mm,
time has actually passed by and
mm.
time has lasped,
Mhm.
and you know, the little girl is still there and even more fearful now, because now it's like, shit, I'm 2 days behind what I needed to do. I'm 2 hours behind what I needed to do, And there's
Mm,
that again, it's the whole thing
mm,
of time. So really my struggle isn't with time, it's with the little girl. And the
mm,
little girl starts going, well, now there's no time.
mhm,
And then because of that, my focus turns to, oh shit, there's no time, there's no time, there's no time, not why did I just nap and why did I just run away from shit that I need to do that I actually want to do.
mm,
It's a diversion.
mhm. Okay, so just stay with that for a minute, and just now from that place, from that genius, from that soul circle, I want you to just view what you really want, which I'll just share back with you, which was really about living life to the max, creating, teaching with fun and joy, and being able to do all of the things that you want to do, and having a natural structure in there, um, which allows you to do what you want to do. But there's still the madness, if you want to use that word, but there's structure in there too. And you're traveling, you got friends, you got freedom, and you don't need any drugs, any alcohol, anything like that, and you're being the best version of yourself. So just take a moment to really be in the energy of what your genius really truly wants, and just share a couple of more things around that, and choose it. I want you to actually choose it and say to yourself, I choose this.
I choose to live my best life. I choose to make use of all the time that I do have. And I choose to live more intuitively rather than shutting that off. Because that's what I'm learning, that's what I'm teaching. I choose to do it every time. I choose to set more rules for myself. That's not the right word. In my genius, I choose to know my limits. That's what it is.
No. Go
I
further on that.
choose.
What?
I choose. mm,
I feel like we've lost the energy of it there a little bit. Something's like we've fallen out of the genius circle. Me too, as well. I don't know. We just fell out of it. So let's just like fell on the floor like, oh shit, it's not there now. So let's just head back into that genius circle. So this is the Re that is fully engaged in life and is full of joy and love and laughter and creativity, and also gives herself time and space to relax and have peace and enjoy the
you
physical
know,
world.
in my genius, in my soul, in my heart, I
Mm,
truly just want to live a fulfilling life. Like
yeah.
I just want to live. It's not a surface life. It's not, one thing, one act, and it's just it's the larger, it's the bigger picture of
Mm,
everything, right? And just to see the end result of the bigger picture, really, just to live in my vision
mm,
at all times and every day continue to live in that vision and be a part of that and enjoy the journey to the destination, but
mm,
not, if it's like stop to smell the flowers, but always keep my focus on the end result.
mm-hmm,
And the alcohol and everything else and the naps are halt. They're not a
mm,
pause, they're halt, because
mm,
it's like when I do that, I have to go back and start again. And so I need to continue on my journey, and I need to keep reminding myself of what the vision is by literally just living in that moment, that fun, that vibrancy, that creating those things that I'm creating, the yoga teaching that I'm going to do, and just see myself teaching these children, and like
mm,
being the best version of myself for these kids too. Like, it's not just for me, like to teach people with love that those things aren't important, but it's like I need to first teach my inner child that shit isn't important.
So just choose that for yourself. Just set that intention to choose and then come back. Um, so I think there's a couple of things that have.
I also choose to be of service to myself.
Mm,
I feel like I stopped that.
mm-hmm,
And that means making sure I'm resting properly so that I don't have excuses to take naps,
mm,
and making sure that I have my own goals straight, my own focus clear, and doing my choices.
Are you reading my mind? Of course you are.
No,
That's
why?
exactly what I was going to close with. Is what comes up for me is that the reason you get lost down that spiral and why the ego takes over is because you are not focusing on your choices, because we have to tell our mind every day what we want it to focus on, right? Otherwise it will do what it's always done,
Mm,
and you haven't had that for a while.
yeah.
And so it's funny because exactly the same thing happened to me when I wasn't doing my choices for a little while. I noticed my energy went down. I was doing crappy behaviors, wasting time, blah 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 blah. So you have to have the anchor. in place, which is your choices to actually visualize every day, what is it that I truly want, what is in my highest good. And the more you do that, the further, all those egoic pulls become. It's just the lack of focus on what you truly want to create. That really feels like that's all it is right now. um and not trying to fix anything. You don't need to fix the problem. There's nothing to fix here. Whatever's happened has happened, doesn't matter. Like, you learn from it, you know that you can accept it or reject it, and you know the difference between those two things and which one is going to help you and which one isn't. But really, it's just the refocusing. And I'm sure you've had those times where you're so in your flow and in your zone and in your genius and you're loving life and you're doing what you love. Does drinking even come into your mind?
No, I
Exactly.
don't even do it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like when I have a pattern for myself and I was waking up early to teach and do my stuff, right? It's clear to me. It's there. I'm aware of it. I see it. And it's just like, in the last week, obviously a lot has changed with, my job and my job situation. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's like this, there's more time. I'm not required to wake up early in the morning anymore. I don't have discipline, right? Because that is discipline. Like going to work on time
Yeah.
and being there for my job is self-discipline, right? I choose to do that.
Mm,
I want to do that. I choose to teach at the times I choose to teach.
mm.
And I didn't have that for like 5 days.
So, yeah.
And it didn't, even in the past, it was a bit of a behavior where, I was like, I'm talking like last year and stuff, missing classes. But then I made a choice, and I made a choice to never ever miss a class again because of being intoxicated or sleeping in or,
Mm,
not being disciplined. And then I didn't. Since
mm,
January, I have not missed a single class
mm,
to this day, right? But
mm,
now that I didn't have a class, it was like, well, that was kind of my excuse for keeping me in line, and then my excuse went away. Then what's
mhm,
there if there's no excuse?
mm,
And there needs to be
mm,
something larger at play,
mhm.
which is reminding myself again of the focus of where I want to be, what I want to do the next, even if it's just the next day.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, it's not even the question of, who am I affecting? What am I doing? Changing plans and stuff. Even if somebody asks me
Mm,
to change my plans and do that, but I need to say no. Like, I got shit to do. I got stuff
mhm.
that I want to do for me, and being of service to myself and being truthful to myself,
Yeah.
being fucking honest. Being like, you know what? It would be great to sit here and absolutely pretend like there's nothing to do, like I'm on a holiday, because I'm not. When I'm
Mm,
on a holiday, that's a different story. And even then, I want to get up and enjoy things and go to the beach and go swimming and not feel like shit.
mm,
Uh, I want to enjoy the taste of food. Oh my God,
mm.
food tastes so bad when you're drunk. You don't even know what it tastes like. You don't know what you're eating. It doesn't taste so bad. Everything tastes great, even shitty food. You know,
But you don't enjoy it the next day when
but
you could have a really nice meal in front of you, but you feel so sick that you can't eat it and you can't enjoy it. It's
yeah, you
like,
don't enjoy the, and but you don't appreciate what you're eating. You'd be like,
no.
this is so good. I love this fish. Rita, you're eating rice. Oh yes. What? No, that's not what happened. But you know my point.
Yeah.
It's whether like what difference does it make? Two drinks too many, four drinks too many, five drinks too many. It's at the end of the day, it's all shit. It's too many, right? It's out of the it's being out of control. It's being out of control. It's taking the power. If you don't take the power of your life and everything that you do, how can you create? How can you
Mm,
consciously create?
mm. And that's the thing, right? We're always creating, but we're not consciously creating. And so then we create the shit.
Yeah,
And the reality is that, we know the ego is the default. So the minute that it gets a chance, well, all day, every day, it's running the show until you choose otherwise. And until you refocus and until you choose higher and you choose differently. And that's what this journey is about, right? And it's not something that you just do once and you got it and you're fine. It does take practice, and we all fall down. I've had so many times, I remember when I first started this work, for the first sort of, let's say, 9 months even or so, I was like so in it and on it. And then I just fell, like I lost my focus. I wasn't doing my choices. I wasn't taking actions. I just stopped doing everything that I was doing, and I was like, what is going on? And I couldn't figure it out. And now I've redone my choices, got a new focus again, got very good choices. So the energy of them is very powerful. And yeah, sure, I'm still having struggles, but that's life. But I'm getting back on it now. I'm getting back on it. I'm getting back on it. Um, and I think that's it. Like it's just how it is. It doesn't mean anything, like we make a big story about it all. It doesn't mean anything. And, I think what really lands for me today as well from what we've said for you is the importance of accepting all of the shit stuff that you do, that you feel, that, whatever around you don't like. The power of acceptance is very key because that takes the power away from it. And secondly, the realization that when you beat yourself up for the stuff that you've done that you wish you didn't do, you're only making it worse and you can never solve it. Because I love that visual that you had of the cloud, which is just that every time you try and get it, it moves out of the way, it moves out of the way. I just saw it so clearly. Exactly. And it's like that whack-a-mole thing, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't
Hello?
work.
Hello?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you're
Uh-huh.
trying to get it, you're trying to get it. And that's what
That's
you're
what
doing.
it
You're trying to
is.
get it. You
Yeah.
never win. You never
Yeah.
win. And so it's that realization of saying, I'm not playing that game. And here's the thing, if you keep trying it, it will make you feel worse and worse and worse. And then what do you want to do? I need to escape this feeling. Let me have a drink. And so that's the spiral. That's the spiral. So it's up to us to cut in and say, I'm not playing whack-a-mole. I'm not playing. Done. Yeah, okay, maybe I do feel like shit. Maybe I have got anxiety or something. Maybe there is something that feels really tense and I want to escape it by having a nap or having a drink or doing something else. And it's just that day by day, in each moment, refocus. And sometimes you will fall. Like I fall all the time. There's so many things I do and then I fall again. But I think having your choices is going to be really helpful because every day they will set the tone for your energy of your day. And you can always go back to them, and just read them and visualize them, and it will lift your energy up. And I think that's very, very powerful, for when that part of you is dragging you down.
I think also
But I
one of
think,
the
play with
realizations
it. Mm,
is that it's the people too, right? Like the people and the energy of the people that I'm around, and not just like there's like it's like when I'm more comfortable, it's like this with my brother. And so the last time that this happened was in January, and we'd like, but it's like I have to change that dynamic too. There's like an almost like a thing that causes it every time, right? And again, it wasn't like it was bad. It wasn't, had a great time, but on what, like from what I remember, you know what I mean? Like there's so much to it. There's
yeah,
like this.
yeah. I think like you hit it there with this entanglement, and you have a pattern, and
Mm,
you've always been that pattern.
mm.
And so when you get
Structure
to
has,
be with certain structure has integrity, right? Exactly. And that's the structure you have with a particular person in your life, which we all
yeah,
have with different people. And so when you go back to that person, yeah, you can quite easily, I think our experience is to fall back into that pattern, even if it's not really your highest truth now. And so that's the work really, is to shift. And if you imagine like both of you are holding one end of the stick, and for you to drop the stick and say, I don't want that pattern anymore, it's going to be new for you, it's going to be new for him, and it's all going
yeah,
to be a bit weird. It's all going to be a bit like, oh, hang on, we haven't done this. We don't do this. That's not what Rhea and I do. We've always been this way. And so there is going to be tension.
yeah,
We will hang with that tension. And
yeah.
soon things will resolve and things will shift. And you're not there to control anyone else, obviously, right? But
Yeah, exactly. And it's just about changing my own, realizing and changing my own patterns around this person, right? Because I was doing a wine tour with the cousins, and it wasn't like we weren't like I didn't. We had a tasting, and we came back normal, and a couple hours later we all drove. Like it wasn't, there wasn't even like we didn't even have a bottle of wine, and
yeah, yeah.
it was a very, very, very different experience, and
Yeah, so that's interesting, right? So you can do it.
oh yeah, no, that's
So
that's
it's
the
just
thing. It's not like that.
different
It's not like I
scenarios.
can't, and I
Yeah,
fell because I was upset, and it was
yeah,
just same situation, right? Same
yeah,
person.
yeah,
So
So that's something to look at, right? I
that's a
mean,
big
we've
thing to
looked at
look
a lot
at.
today, so maybe not today, but I think that's definitely
Yeah,
something for you to look
yeah.
at is, and I get it. I've had scenarios recently. I say I get, like, I think everyone gets it when they really understand how this works. Everyone's dealing with it, right? Everyone's got entanglements with everyone in all sorts of
Mm.
ways. Especially immediate family, because that's the ones you build when you're youngest as well. But
It comes down to your
the
perception of of your relationship with them and your entanglement with them. And as much as you might not consciously realize it, right? We're not aware of this is what our mind does to trick ourselves that this is what needs to happen because now you're
Yeah.
with this person again. It's
Yeah,
belief,
and
behavior,
that's how you've always done it.
repetition.
So yeah, like you say, structure has integrity. So that's the structure you fall into, unless you're conscious and aware and you choose differently and you choose
Mm.
higher, which again is just so easy to not do. But you know, I've noticed that when you start to shift it, you become more aware of how tantalizing it is and how easily you can start to pick up that stick again, and then they pick up the same stick again, and then off you are again doing the same old thing, and then you're like, no, I'm going to drop it, and then it goes a bit weird, and you're like, I want to pick it up again. And so it takes a bit of work, takes a bit of practice, at least from my
Mm.
experience. I don't want to put a rule on you because it may not, and it may not for anyone else, but my experience is that, especially with those very deep entangled connections that have had a long time to be how they are as well, um choosing a different way is, it takes time, step by step, next action, and and there's many tools for that, like the relationship one, and also the conflict with integrity. Even though it's not necessarily a conflict, you can have a look at that and say, well, there's a situation and a charge around this scenario, and there's certain things. If you looked into it, I think that would be really interesting, actually, if you said that there was a situation where you and your brother, when you get together, this is what happens. And then there will be feelings and things coming up for you prior to you taking those actions and getting embroiled in it. There will be a moment of space and time where you will be doing and thinking and feeling something, and you'll know it, and you intuitively will know it if we did this process. And then that would lead to, what do you want to do? Have a drink, get involved, rah, rah, rah. And then it's don't rise above it. And then I think if you look down from intuition on the truth of what's happening in this dynamic between you and him, and this scenario, and why it keeps resulting in this same thing, I think you would see a lot of powerful truths that would really shift things on a deep level for you, and give you the insight of what a higher action would be in that scenario. And it's not the one action that's going to solve everything, right? Yeah, maybe, I don't know, but every time it happens, and it doesn't have to be just with brother, it could be whatever situation. That's what the whole point of this tool, right? But I feel like that would be really helpful in you getting a little bit deeper to see, what is it in my ego and his ego, what is our entanglement that we have that keeps sending us down this road. And it's not good for him either, right? But you're not there to change him,
Mm.
it's just what's good for you, what's true for you. But I feel like that would be really helpful in also showing you what is the highest action for you. Because this thing of like, got to discipline, I've got to stop doing it, I get that logically. But remember, we're working with magic and intuition, and there's no logic there. So that may be the answer. It may be. I don't know, because we haven't done the process. But if you tuned into it and did the process, you might find that the answer may, in some ways, surprise you. It may be something quite different. It may be something you haven't thought of before. But that's the powerful answer. And so that, I think, would be really good for you, is to
Mm.
just spend a bit of time doing that process in retrospect and see what really happened there, and what could I have done actually that would have changed the outcome. I think you'd learn a lot from that, which would help you on this journey of reframing this relationship, making it, it's not, because the thing is, when you do that, not only do you serve yourself, you serve the other person, because
Mm.
you're doing it from your highest good.
Mm.
If you just were like, I'm not going to come, I'm not going to drink, I don't want to be like that, if he's going to, you've now
Yeah,
created whereas there's something much more higher that can be
yeah.
done,
That's not the truth.
that we're
That's
no,
right.
that's
Yeah,
just your ego trying to fix the problem.
yeah.
But if you went into it intuitively, I think you'd get an action that you would do that would just enables something to flourish that you could not have even imagined, for you, for him, for both of you, whatever. And an experience and a conversation and a scenario and a deeper level of understanding that's going to shift you in a way that can't be undone, because it's not egoic, it's true growth. So yeah, I would recommend that process, I think, to
Take
have
that
a
away
look at
for
that.
homework.
I did
Everyone, write your
I
homework down.
I did send you a picture of that one the other day, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
So you got it. So if you want to do it together at some point, we can do it, because it does always help to have someone else.
Okay.
Probably not today because I'm
No,
brain dead, but that was good. We've been doing
that
for an
was
hour and
good.
20.
Thanks for
Would
that.
you? You're welcome. You're welcome. I feel like, what do I feel like now? Close and leave, or do one of the things on the screen, or something else? Let me tune in. What do you get for what we do now?
We pull a card.
I was thinking that might come. Okay, let's
Just
pull
one.
one card. Yep, I'm gonna pull an angel card. So we're gonna pull one of each for each of us. Okay,
One of
so I'm
each for
gonna
each
pull.
of us.
So let's do you, because we're in the energy of your challenge and your situation. I'm just dropping all my cards all over the place.
Yeah, you said that, and I just read the thing that says you're in the show, and I was like, oh, I am in the show. I am the show right now.
You are the show. Okay, so
Just a message.
mm,
A message
okay.
for my higher self. Whoa! Yeah.
A message from your higher self.
For my higher
Okay,
self.
I feel like, yeah, I need to tune in and really set this intention. That feels resonant. I've never pulled this one before.
I've never
Can
seen
you
that
see
card
it?
before.
Learning
Learning.
experience.
Oh my God.
Right? Learning experience. So, I mean, it really is. What's always
It
me about that is it's
really
exactly what it says on the
was.
tin. Is that everything that is challenging you is simply there for your growth and your learning, and for your connection to your truth, to your heart, to your soul, to your spirit. Every single thing that we go through, no matter how painful, no matter how difficult, no matter how much we wish it away and we fight it, if we can really hold it and embrace it and bring it in, we will realize, and use the tools and do this work as we do, we will realize that there is nothing that is not there for the growth of your own consciousness. There is nothing that's not there for your own benefit. There's nothing there that cannot be used. Remember, alchemy, lead into gold. This is your lead, and we're turning it into gold. You can't have gold without the lead. And so everything, every bit of lead in life, every challenge, every pain, every ego thing, every failure, everything is lead that you learn and you use to turn into gold. And
The lead has led me
remember,
here.
I like that one. We haven't had that pun for a while. I like it. I like it. So that's what I get for you. Do you want to pull one for yourself as well?
It's funny. Just on that note, yesterday, my partner, he goes, the biggest apology, the greatest apology is change. And, he's like, this is literally, use this as a learning experience and decide what you want to do from it. You choose.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So then we got that. And then, all right. Oh, this one's upside down. I feel like getting it. No judgment.
I like it a lot. Read that for me.
Joyville. I'm in Joyville.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. I'm in my
That's
real
cute.
Joy. Welcome to Joyville. I release myself from any and all judgments. I find my inner critic, call it into my office, and tell it to take a vacation. As it leaves the room, I let out a sigh and begin to enjoy the joy of simply being. Who hired that guy anyway?
I like it.
No judgment. Okay.
Good.
Okay. Good. I don't need to. There's just
All right.
pretty
Yeah, I mean,
solid.
it is. Yeah,
It is
it's
what it
pretty
is.
solid. It's pretty solid. Pretty
Um,
solid.
okay.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Okay, for me, I have an intention or a question? What do I need? I need everything right
Do you
now.
need? Let's get a card to
Okay,
give
let me
Pinky
go.
whatever she needs right now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, what does Pinky need right now?
What does Pinky need right now in this moment? In this
I can't even
moment.
shuffle my cards. I've just got them everywhere.
That's the one.
Okay. Oh wow, that just flew out of the deck.
That's the one.
I've never had this one.
What is it?
Take a step back, and I love the picture. I love the
Take a step back.
picture. Oh, sweet Jesus, Lord Christ, Savior,
Hey,
everything. It
hey,
knows.
hey.
It knows my truth. So what's obvious to me about that is I need to do exactly what it says on the tin, because my stresses are all of the stresses right now are because I'm in every little minute detail of everything that could go wrong, and every fear and every potential problem, and I'm analyzing every little thing, and I'm worrying, and I'm overthinking, and I'm overanalyzing, and I'm worrying, and I'm catastrophizing and creating so much noise. And actually, when I take a step back, oh, it's peaceful, it's beautiful, it's truthful, it's perfect, it's right on path. It's exactly as it's meant to be. It's in God's hands. It's not even in my hands. I don't even need it to be in my hands, because it's just absolutely magical and perfect. And when I rise up and I see what I'm actually experiencing, and what I'm going through, and what I'm going to be going through, and what I'm creating, which are actually really good things. Some of them that I'm worrying about are actually really positive. When I take a bit step back, I can see how wonderful they are. And so that is my task.
Is that
If
do you need a signy or sign, or is that signy enough for you?
I I would like another signy sign, but I would like to just have a quick look at the book for that one, because I've not actually ever pulled that card before. So I just want to see what it says. Take a step back. Your angels are guiding you to step back and reflect before proceeding further. There is an excitable and action oriented energy around you at this time, but you are being encouraged to review the situation before making any moves. Remember, you're a sensitive beings, and should the correct steps and intentions not be lined up, you could open yourself up to harsh energies or a situation that could be limiting to your growth. Oh, interesting. In order to have a best experience and positive outcome, take some time now to meditate on your actions, intentions, visions, and goals. Call in your angels and invite them to guide you to make decisions that will be supportive of your expansion and highest good. When we try and rush ahead or force something to happen, we can often miss signals, signs, and messages that are encouraging us to change course. If you have a big decision to make now, or in the midst of moving a project forward, your angels are encouraging you to take a step back and breathe. What is for you won't go by you. I love that.
Mm,
What is for
mm.
you won't go by you. Your angels are encouraging you to step in the energy of trust. When you do so, you will draw universal energy to support you. If you have concerns about another personal relationship, this card is guiding you to draw back and respect the space of others. Let this be a time of self care and awareness. And when you step back, you let the universe step in. That's really interesting, and not quite the way that I was seeing it. It's bringing up a lot of stuff for me.
It's funny because I saw it a bit more like take a step back and observe what's happening and make sure that you are not getting lost in the
Noise and the details and
and just not getting lost in the happenings and making sure
yeah.
that it's aligned with everything else in the bigger picture. So take a step back and almost, reassess the
So
situation.
yeah. So I can you pull a card for me, and then we're going to sign off, and then I wouldn't mind if you do a little reading for me on it.
Yeah,
But I don't want to do it on live. So
yeah.
okay, card please. Thank
I'm
you.
waiting for the right one.
Hmm.
You can't rush. Can't rush magic.
Can't rush the magic.
Can't rush magic. You can't rush life. And that's too many. Okay.
Hmm.
That's not the right one.
Okay.
Sorry. It's not the right
It's
one.
okay. It's okay.
Card for Pinky right now. Abundance.
Mm,
No picture.
okay.
Congratulations. It seems you're due for, it says, a little, and then scratched out, it says, an infinitely big piece of abundance pie.
Okay.
Feel like you don't deserve it? Knock it off. It's already plated and ready to hit your table. Reluctant to take it? Shut your hole. Abundance pie is big enough to serve everyone. So get your whipped cream ready unless you're lactose intolerant and enjoy your well-deserved metaphorical dessert. What's obvious to me about this card is, again, not what I thought it meant in the beginning, but if I look at it for what I've asked for now, is it's time to take a piece of your pie. It really is. It's time to kind of enjoy what you've created so far a little bit. And to do that, you do need to take a step back and slow it down a little. But also just kind of look back and reflect on everything. Really, I don't, what did that say that in your thing, the reflect? Because there's definitely some sort of reflection that's coming up. Because there's a lot happening right now. I don't even know what it is because you haven't told me, but there's a lot going on, and there's definitely things are coming in abundance in a good way. And there's almost just a raising higher and kind of looking at it and being aware of what's going on, and just being really grateful. There's a huge sense of like gratefulness that's coming from this card right now. And if there's something that you're really fighting, there's something that you're not sure about that's probably causing the stress that it's causing, because you feel like you don't deserve it, because you feel like it's not right for you, because you feel like it doesn't belong to you, knock it off. It's already plated and ready to hit your table. It's already there. It's already done. It already is. And you just need to step back and you just need to enjoy it. You just need to let it kind of exist. There's nothing that needs to be done by you again. There's no action required right now. That's what I'm getting.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, let's
definitely
do a
ask you
reading.
to do a little bit more reading. Yeah. Okay. Right. Peace out, peeps. It's my turn now. Like, Rue's going to do me a reading in private because I would need to. Okay. Good. All right. Well, that was good. Thank you, everybody.
That's good. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Yeah.
See you
I hope you
again.
guys have a great day. And
Yeah.
just, you know what? Let's just wrap it up with a quick lesson, I guess.
Yeah.
What's the
Lesson of the
lesson?
session.
Lesson of the session today. Do we have any comments?
No, not
Okay.
today. I don't think anyone
Oh.
even knew we were going live.
All right. All right.
I'll put what shall I put a comment in? I'll put one into it. Hi Reepy.
Hi, Riku.
um,
Today was not. Listen of the session. When you're feeling shitty, don't. It's not even what I meant. Let me just. I was trying to make a joke. It wasn't funny. Dirty joke. Lesson of the session. Honestly, it really is that. It's the same takeaway for you, which is what you resist persists. And, you know, if there's something you're resisting and you want to change and do something differently, we have to remember that the choice that we make shouldn't come from a place of negativity and changing that negative action. It should come from a pure place of your heart and wanting that positive action, if that makes sense. You need to want the positive than to not want the negative.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lesson of the session for me is it was a reminder about the power of accepting the worst case, accepting the dark clouds, accepting the pain, accepting. Not to say you want it and you're inviting it in, but just the energetic act of accepting. And also remembering that we are alchemists and what we're working on is turning lead to gold. So if you're fighting against the lead and trying to get rid of the lead, then you ain't going to get no gold. So it's about remembering that all of that stuff is your lead. and so therefore also be grateful for it, and actually, let it be and use the energy of it and alchemize it. And
Let it be. Let it be. Just
uh,
let it be.
I like it. Very good.
All right.
Okay, cool.
On that
All
note,
right.
thanks everyone for holding
Thank
space
you,
today.
everyone. Cheers. Bye, 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 bye. See you soon.
Bye.